Let's be honest, dealing with an insurance claim can feel like trying to find your way out of a maze, especially when you're already stressed about damage to your home. But you don't have to go it alone. In this explainer, we're going to give you a step-by-step map to get you through the whole process and put you back in control. So let's dive in. So, the worst has happened. A pipe bursts, a tree comes through the roof. Whatever it is, that first moment you see the damage, it can be just completely overwhelming. You're thinking about your family's safety, your belongings, and then that sinking feeling hits you. Oh no, I have to call the insurance company. And that's exactly why we're here. The whole point of this guide is to take that overwhelming feeling and turn it into a feeling of empowerment. We're going to break this down into clear, manageable steps so you know exactly what to do, what to expect, and how to make sure your voice is heard. Okay, it all starts with one phone call. This is your first official contact with the insurance company, where you report the loss. And believe it or not, how you handle this call can set the tone for the entire claim. So let's get you ready. Before you even pick up the phone, a little prep work goes a long way. Grab your policy number, know the exact date and cause of the damage, and have any initial photos or videos handy. Having all this ready not only makes the call go smoother, it also sends a clear signal to the insurance company that you are organized and on top of things from day one. Look, don't overthink this first call. Your only mission here is to report what happened and get your claim number. That number, think of it as your golden ticket. It's the key that unlocks everything and tracks every document, photo, and conversation from this moment on. All right, once your claim is officially filed, you'll be assigned someone called a claims adjuster. This person becomes the central figure in your claims journey, so understanding their role and, maybe more importantly, who they work for is absolutely critical. Okay, this is a really critical distinction to understand. The adjuster your insurance company sends out works for them. Their job is to evaluate the damage based on the terms of your policy. A public adjuster, on the other hand, is someone you can hire to work for you. They become your advocate. Knowing who's on whose team can be a total game changer. So what does the company's adjuster actually do? Well, think of them as an investigator. They'll schedule a time to come out, inspect the damage, figure out what caused it, and then use the very specific language in your policy to calculate a settlement amount. Your job during their visit is huge. Be there, point out all the damage you found, even the little things, and be ready with all that documentation you've started gathering. Okay, deep breath. After the adjuster's visit, you enter what can be the most frustrating phase, all the paperwork and the waiting. But this is actually where you have a ton of power. This is where you build the strongest possible case for your claim. It all comes down to documentation. I want you to think of yourself as a detective building a case file. Your mission is to prove your loss. You need tons of photos and videos from every angle. You need a detailed list of every single thing that was damaged. And for anything valuable, you need proof of what it was worth. Receipts, appraisals, you name it. The thicker your file, the stronger your claim. This might just be the single most important tip I can give you. Start a claim diary. It could be a notebook or a spreadsheet, I don't care, but log every single interaction. Who did you talk to? What day was it? What did they promise? This creates a clear timeline and holds everyone accountable. If a dispute comes up later, this log will be your star witness. And then the moment you've been waiting for arrives. The adjuster sends over their report and your settlement offer. Now, this document can be full of confusing insurance jargon, but don't worry, we're going to decode the most important terms right now. There are two main ways insurers value your property, and trust me, the difference between them is huge. Replacement cost value, or RCV, pays you what it would cost to buy a brand new similar item today. Actual cash value, or ACV, pays you for what the item was worth the second before it was damaged. So that's replacement cost minus all the wear and tear. Knowing which one is in your policy is everything. Now let's talk about the two big numbers that get subtracted from your total settlement. First up is your deductible. That's the amount you agreed to pay out of your own pocket when you bought the policy. And second, as we just talked about, is depreciation. That's the value an item lost over time just from being used. Both of these amounts come out of the final check you get. So, at the end of the day, it's really just a simple formula. The insurance company starts with a total cost to repair or replace everything. From that number, they subtract your deductible. Then they subtract any depreciation. What's left over? That's the amount of your settlement check. Now you can actually look at your offer and understand exactly how they got to that number. But what happens when you look at that number and it just feels wrong? Or when you keep calling your adjuster and you're just not hearing back? This is a common fear, but I promise you, you are not powerless. This is where you shift from waiting and wondering to taking action.
This is the big one, isn't it? You get the offer, you run the numbers, and your heart just sinks because you know it's not enough to cover the damage. Okay, first rule, don't panic. An initial offer is often just that, an opening for a conversation, not the final word.
Here's your 3-step action plan. 1. Ask for a detailed breakdown of their math, in writing. Make them show you their work. 2. Counter with your own evidence. Remember that case file you built? Now's the time to send them your contractor's estimates and your receipts that prove a higher value. And 3, if you're hitting a brick wall, don't be afraid to escalate. Politely ask to speak with the adjuster's supervisor. If this whole process feels like a blur and you only remember one thing, let it be this. Your camera provides the undeniable proof of what you lost, and your calendar, your claim log, provides the undeniable proof of the entire process. Those 2 things are your greatest tools for getting a fair outcome. And with that, you've made it through. The claim is settled, life is getting back to normal, but now you have the gift of experience. So my question for you is, what's the one thing, whether it's your coverage limits, your deductible, or whether you have RCV or ACV, what's the one thing you'll look at differently the next time you review your insurance policy? Because being proactive, that is the final step in taking control.